Hey guys, Majungasaurus Productions here, and welcome to the long-awaited 2023 collection update. Now, we got a lot of dinosaurs here to go through. So, before I begin, I think I should note that I really try to stick to the 1/18th scale, as I mainly collect 1/18th figures. And any figure on the shelf that isn't 1/18th scale, I've changed the species to more fit that scale. Like, for example, this is the Mojo Manchurosaurus. But in this scale, I've changed it to be Tenontosaurus. As you can see, it still kind of fits Tenontosaurus because, like Tenontosaurus, it has a really long tail. But anyway, starting actually at the bottom, we have all my little utilities, like tons of pencils and pens, as well as painting stuff. And here is a box of storyboards. And over here we have these are the headphones I use. Try to keep them in storage so they're nice. As well as all the props I use for the series. And some other cords and sketchbooks and all that. But yeah. Moving back up here, we have this little tree I made. Just sits back there. And the Tenontosaurus, like I talked about like literally a second ago. We also have the Metriacanthosaurus. My first Metriacanthosaurus, to be exact. Now this one is actually was going to be the female. Moving up, though, we have the beautiful Hammond Collection Ankylosaurus. I love this Ankylosaurus so much. It's such a good figure. Like, Mattel really did such a good job on this one. It's like a proper big Ankylosaur. Next to it, we have a classic figure, the Chatmay Oviraptor. As you can notice, I did a few minor paint touch-ups, like I actually painted the bottom beak, and I added a few more stripes to the tail and spots in certain places, just to make it look even better. Next to it, we have the Monolophosaurus from Schleich. Now, originally I wasn't going to get this figure, but until one day, at Tractor Supply, I just saw it in person, I was like, you know what, it actually looks nice. So I decided to pick it up, and I really like it. I did a review on it a few months back, and I believe I talked about it more in the haul video. So yeah, if you want to see that, go watch it. Anyway, moving on. We have the Ornitholestes. This is actually my repaint to look like a female variant of the males, which you'll see a little later. And here, it's the second Metriacanthosaurus. Now, a little story behind these two Metries. This one is Slice. You may remember him from Season 1. And the one down here, which I'm going to elaborate further on now, this one is the one I like to call Slice's girlfriend. She originally had a name, but I actually forgot her name, so for now I now just refer to her as Slice's girlfriend. As originally in Season 2, Slice, his storyline was going to continue, and in it, he had a mate. And I forget what they do in the storyline, but that was scrapped later on. Anyway, beneath Slice, we have another dinosaur you guys may know from Isle of the Mesozoic. This is the Terabybitat Carnotaurus, though here on the shelves, this is the baby Carno. His name is Trey. And behind Trey, we have the very first Cerrato ever made by Mattel, which in the scale I've changed to be a Geniodectes, which was a larger South American species of Ceratosaur. But yeah, this is still such a good figure. The head sculpt is very accurate to the original JP3 head sculpt. And right across from it, we have the Concavenator. Now, the Concavenator has a very similar story to the Monolophosaurus. Originally, I wasn't going to get it. Then I saw tons of reviews and, of how good it looked, in person. And so eventually I finally pulled the trigger, and I'm really glad I did, because this is such a cool figure. Next to it, we have the, what is this? The Jurassic World Iguanodon. There's so many names I have to keep track of on this shelf. But yeah, this is the Jurassic World Iguanodon. Although, I changed it to be Mantellisaurus because the Jurassic World Iguanodon, its shape, the way it looks more like Iguanodon mantelli or Mantellisaurus. So I've changed it to be Mantellisaurus. And next to it we have Jatme Parasaurolophus. This one's the male. And finally, at the end of this shelf, we have my little Chinosaur of the Pachycephalosaurus, which is Stegoceras in the series. He's just chilling in this little crate from the Mattel Jurassic World. I wish more companies would make more crates, because this is so cool. It's just fun to display dinosaurs in the little cages. Moving up to this next layer, we have my Pachycephalosaurids. Sorry about the squeaking, that's my chair. Sitting in the chair allows me to be eye level with this layer. But yeah, here we have the one female and the two males. Now these guys actually have names. They've never appeared in Isle of the Mesozoic, but they've got names. So we have Patty, Patch, and Patchy. Now, one thing I like is that they all have yellow on their heads. And actually, these two in particular, I got many years ago. They were given to me as a gift, and I've held on to them ever since. Next to them, we have Opportunity, which you guys know from the special. This is the Carnegie Red Velociraptor, being used in the series as Dinobolator, which is a small little dromaeosaurid. Behind them, we have my second Walking with Dinosaurs figure. Now, most of you probably have never seen this figure in your life. Now, that's because this Brachiosaur, originally it's Brachiosaur, but on the shelf I've changed it to be Europasaurus, because that more fits the size range, but this one would be the juvenile Europasaurus. But yeah, this is from the Walking with Dinosaurs Arena Spectacular, the live show that tours around. I went to it a long time ago. I believe it was 2015, and this is one of the items I brought back. They had it in the gift shop. But yeah, moving on, we have the 2001 Hasbro Dilophosaurus. Now, I actually removed the frill from mine, but here it is. It actually stands rather well, despite how wide its legs splay out. Anyway, moving back over, below Dinobolator, we have the Nature and Science Leonellosaura. Although for the series I've changed them to be Hypsilophodon, because they actually, weirdly enough, they'd be too big to be Leonellosaura, because apparently Leonellosaura is way smaller. But yeah, now they're Hypsilophodon, and they're really cool. I always wanted to get the Walking with Dinosaurs Leonellosaura, but I could never find the original Toyway version. So this one is as close as I could get to it, and they're still really good. Really nice little figures. Next to it, we have the Protoceratops. This one is from Dino Riders. Now this is one of my only Dino Riders figures, and it's such a good figure as well. I've always loved the Dino Riders Protoceratops. It's really cute. Next to it, we have baby Triceratops from PNSL. This is Season 2's main character, Mancy. And next to her, we have the, Collectae Psittacosaurus. I have to keep track of so many names for this video. But yeah, the Collectae Psittacosaurus, which is the female in Iotum. And next to it, we have the Paphos Stiggy. I always like the look of the Paphos Stiggy. It's not the best Stygimoloch, but it's really nice for what it is. Behind it, we have my second Kenner. No, wait, no. Yeah, this one's the Kenner Dilo, but this one's the Hasbro one. But yeah, my second Dilophosaurus. Now, in the show, these two are going to be Sinosaurus. And more particular, this one, this Dilo right here, was actually the first ever figure I got. Yes, this little Dilophosaur right here started this entire collection. Behind it, we have my repaint of the old Collectae Deinocheirus. Now, you may know this thing doesn't look like Deinocheirus at all. It's actually too small to be Deinocheirus in 1/18th scale. So I've changed it to be the small Therizinosaur called Nanchungosaurus. If it can even focus. Come on, camera. There we go. Alright, moving ahead, we have my second figure I ever got. This raptor. This is the Papo Velociraptor version 2. And I actually really like this figure. In the series, this size of raptor will be playing Deinonychus. You may remember it from Season 1. This was Randall. Behind them, we have my repaint of the Jurassic Park Cyclops Raptor, which in the series is Utahraptor. And you see he's feasting on the leg of the poor unfortunate male Packy. And next to it is the absolutely beautiful beast of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaurus series, Dryptosaurus. I know I already said all this in the haul video, but I adore this figure so much. Oh my god, this thing is so cool. And below it we have we have the Schleich Velociraptor on the hunt. This is the female Deinonychus, which is the female counterpart to this one. Next to it, we have the Suscotyrannus from Beast of the Mesozoic, another great Tyrannosaur, another great one. Love this one. The coloration is based off of the same animal that was used as the actual color inspiration for the Saurian Dakotaraptor, so if it looks familiar, that's why. Here we have the Flamingo! No, this is the Beast of the Mesozoic Butiraptor, I believe. But for the series, it would be too big, so I've changed it to be Unanlegia. Above them is the Papobaryonyx. Now, a lot of you guys are probably going to hate me, but I adore this figure so much. I love this Baryonyx. I know it doesn't look like a Baryonyx whatsoever, but I just have a love for this thing. Here you can see it's chewing on a fish. I actually got this fish off Amazon specifically for this display to be with the Baryonyx. You see he's just munching on it. It's a gar, which actually is a native fish that lives here where I live in Texas, which is cool. Below them, we have my Carnegie D-Long. As you can see, they're slightly customized. As in my show, these guys are nocturnal creatures, so I've painted their eyes silver, so it reflects light. You can kind of see, so it looks like their eyes are glowing. It's really creepy. Next to them, we have my first Guanlong. This one is the female, as I repainted my second one to look like a male, but yeah. Absolutely love the Safari Guanlong. It's such a shame this thing recently got discontinued, and it will be missed. But we have the new BOTM Guanlong, so I'm not that sad. Over here we have, speaking of BOTM, the beautiful BOTM Medusaceratops. Now, you may notice it's looking really shiny right now. That's because I have the window open, specifically to show off how shiny this thing is. It's so pretty. I can't stop taking this figure off the shelf and just basking in its absolute beauty. I also love the striping on the horn. That is something I'd love to see more in ceratopsians. I love whenever people do that with the stripe being like patterns along the horns. It's really cool. Over here we have the most rare figure in this entire collection. This is the Papo Baby Green Tyrannosaurus. And the reason I say this is the most rare figure in the collection is because I was able to snag this little figure literally before it became rare. This thing you cannot find anywhere nowadays online. It is literally impossible. And I'm glad I got it when I did, because I love these little baby Rexes. They're so cute. I mean, look at that face. Look at that little guy. And of course, next to it, we have the Papo Green Raptor. Now, in the series, this one is also Deinonychus, but There's like a difference. This one is the slit pupiled variant, while these ones over here are round pupiled like variant. While the round pupiled have a sexual dimorphism, this one, both male and female, look like this. And next to it, we have my second Chatmay male Parasaurolophus. An absolutely classic figure. First time I ever saw this thing was in, if any of you know, Gloppy Films and their show Prehistoric that they made way back in the day. That is what made me get this figure. Such a classic series. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you watch it. Moving up here on the next layer, we have my Jurassic Park Raptors. We got the original Lost World one, and the Jurassic Park 1, as well as the Jurassic Park 3 female. Now these guys in the series are Utah Raptors, with the two red ones being the male, and this one being the female. Originally I planned to do a lot of scenes with them, and I eventually want to get around to it, as the only time they've really appeared so far was in the Opportunity special with the one Utah Raptor. But eventually I'll do more scenes with them, hopefully. And moving down here, we have my male Guanlong repaint. This one's called Guanlongdale Dingle. That's his name. And moving down here, we have the Safari Feathered Tube dinosaurs. We have the Velociraptor, Sinornithosaurus, and here is Tyrone, the male Cryo from Season 2. And behind him, we have another rare figure, or at least I'm pretty sure it's only starting to be rare now. This is the Carnegie Bapiosaurus. Very old figure, and one I finally picked up back in 2020, I believe. Behind it is my only Resaurus figure, which is the Stegosaurus. And that one's the male Stego. Going back up to over here, we have the Feathered Coelophysis from Safari Ltd. And my third Ornitholestes. This one has a lizard in its mouth. And the Safari Ltd. Mashikosaurus, which is one of my favorite Safari figures. It's such a cool figure. I love the green and then the dark striping. It's very nice. Below it, we have the Coelophysis pair from Jurassic Park Kenner. And behind them, we have the original Mattel Proceratosaurus, which is still my favorite of the Proceratosaurus they've released. I just love the dark coloration. It's nice. Here we have some human items and some crates, dinosaur cages. In the first one, we have the PNSO Baby Amargasaur. And in the second one, we have my two Mattel Compsognathus. You can kind of see them, but yeah, they're there. Moving up, we have the Carnegie Saltosaurus, although in this scale, I've changed it to be a Magirasaurus. Here we have the male Minmi, and as you can see, it has the orange head, so it's the male. Here we have my second Dino Riders figure. This is the Kentrosaurus, and I love this figure so much. It is such a cool Kentro. Here we have some dinosaur eggs. This is a little prop I made for the Opportunity special. And here's a Mononychus from BOTM, which was actually my first ever Beast of the Mesozoic figure. And the really cool one at that. I've always loved Mononychus ever since I first saw it in Chased by Dinosaurs. And then it reappeared again in Prehistoric Planet. Such a cool species. And here we have a dinosaur I think most of you should know if you've seen Isle of the Mesozoic. This is Neo, the Neovinator. You see he's snacking. He's snacking on some food. Next to him is the beautiful Stenonychosaurus from BOTM. Although here, in this scale, I've changed it to be Latinavinatrix. Next to it, we have the Psittacosaurus from Safari Ltd. Another great Safari figure. I'm really sad that they're discontinuing this one. And this one right here, the City Patty. But yeah, I'll get back to the City Patty real quick. But yeah, such a shame. Such a good figure. I love the striking blue eyes, the sculpt, the coloration. Moving up, we have the Carnotaurus from Carnegie. Possibly another one of my rarest figures, as it's pretty impossible to find this figure nowadays. But I was able to pick this up right when Carnegie stopped producing figures, which was 2016. I got this guy along with like 3 others. If I remember, I forget which figures they are exactly, but I know this one was one of them. I'm glad I got it when I did. You may remember this Carno, though, from Season 1 as Savannah. And, okay, back to the City Patty. This City Patty is such a beautiful sculpt. I mean, look at that. The colors and everything. Still a shame they're discontinuing this one as well. Next to it, we have the female City Patty, which will be in Season 2, being played by the Carnegie Oviraptor. Below it is my third Feathered Dinos Tube figure. That is a mouthful. The Caudipteryx. And finally, next to it is the blue Oviraptor from Papo, which is the male, while the brown one is the female. All right, here we are at the top shelf. My new favorite layer, mainly because of this big boy. But yeah, starting over here, we have my new repaint of the Gigant Spinosaurus. It's really cool. I love this sculpt. And I knew just the right paint job was needed to bring out all these beautiful old scales. But yeah, this is the repaint. Next to it, we have my Xenoceratops custom. This is the battle-scarred Xenoceratops. As you can see, he's like missing a horn. There's like tons of scars on the frill, on the face, all over the body. And over here, we have the beautiful Thrasher T-Rex. I love this figure. This is Kenner's best Tyrannosaurus, in my opinion. Absolutely amazing. The color scheme, the size, such a good Tyrannosaurus. And below it, we have my custom of the Mattel Zuniceratops. All I did really was do a wash over to bring out all the scales and kind of dull the yellow down to make it look more natural. I also added some patterns to the frill, because the frill was looking rather dull. And right here we have my repaint of the Mattel Majungasaurus. This repaint is based off the Albertosaurus from Jurassic Park Trespasser. And I think the color scheme works well on Majunga. And over here we have Runar, the Styracosaurus. As you can see, he's been through a lot of battles, as he has the severed skull of a subadult Tyrannosaurus forever impaled upon his horn. Behind him is one of my BOTM Torosaurus. Absolutely love this figure. And I wasn't a fan of the blue one that much, as I more like more naturalistic looking dinosaurs. I mean, I say that, and I have this thing. I've repainted it to look like that. So who am I to say anything? But yeah, it's a beautiful Torosaurus. Love the Walking with Dinosaurs inspiration, and the eye spots are really cool as well. And finally, the biggest dinosaur I've ever got. This massive thing, the huge Mattel Mamenchisaurus. This thing really has a presence in the room. I mean, I already did an unboxing review on it, so if you want to go see that, check it out. It's also kind of a face reveal in a way. But yeah, this thing is beautiful. I love this figure. And now here we are on my second shelf across the room. Now this shelf I'm going to be calling the Beast of Mesozoic shelf, because this shelf is going to house most of the Beast of Mesozoic that I get. And already, as you can see, there's 4 figures here. But starting here on the bottom, we have more storyboards and storage. Anyway, here is the second Fans Choice Torosaurus I'll be using in Season 2. And here's my beautiful BOTM Pentaceratops. I love this figure so much, it's so cool. And here's the second Xenoceratops, the non-battle-scarred one. And next to it, is the subadult trike. Moving up, we have a lot of room waiting to be just covered in Beast of Mesozoic figures. And up here, we have my two Kinder Stegosaurus. And moving up a little more, we have the very top, where we have my Papobrachiosaurus, which will be a Europasaurus in the Isle of the Mesozoic. And we also have my repaint, which was my very first repaint. This is the Safari Amargasaurus. So many names I have to remember. And here is the Nasutoceratops from Mattel, which I still say is one of Mattel's best Ceratopsian sculpts. Like, it's so good. And speaking of good sculpts, the Papocaprasuchus, which I finally got and I wish I got sooner, is an absolute masterpiece of a figure. I mean, look at that. Well, anyway, I think that's just gonna about do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.